All right, it is our 30th day on trail. No, it is not. It's our 29th day on trail, actually. We're getting ready to leave Bearfence Hut. Chica's getting all buckled up. Fire starter is ready to go. And up the trail we'll head. It's about, I'm going to guess maybe, 0.3 miles, if that, back up to the trail from here. But yeah, it was a lovely night. Didn't sleep well, but it was a lovely night. Today we're looking at maybe 11.9 miles. We are going to Big Meadows campground, or the wayside I should say. That'll be open, so we'll be able to go have some lunch at that wayside. And then from there we'll head to the next hut. So it's 7.7 miles to the wayside, and then on down to the hut would give us 11.9 total for the day. It rained earlier this morning, probably about 1 o'clock. Started raining, rained off and on till about 4:30. Sun is out now. It is an absolutely gorgeous morning, and it's supposed to be calling for off and on rain all day. Bearfence Mountain, the rocks at the top here, pretty neat. Here we are at the top of Hazeltop, 3,804 feet. This is the view you get. So a little bit of a view since there are not any leaves on the trees yet. But that is it.
Messing around with the guitar, barefooted.
I guess maybe a millipede.
I think it was a centipede. It was bigger than that guy, and he had bigger feet that sat out to the side.
This has been a nice change to the trail after leaving Hazeltop. It's a gradual downhill, but there are not as many rocks on the trail. And it's just nice to have a gradual downhill and nothing steep going up or down. It's a very welcome change. When the sun comes out, it's a pretty warm day. I think I've lost 5 pounds in sweat today already. And we've only been on trail 2.5 hours. So, just one of those days. We'll be at Big Meadows around lunchtime, and from what we understand, their blackberry, or the milkshake machine, is still down, so we won't be able to get blackberry milkshakes, but they do have blackberry ice cream, and the grill is open, so we'll be able to get some lunch and have some ice cream for dessert. And then the shelter we are going to is approximately, oh dear, I think I said it earlier, but I can't remember, 4 miles or something after Big Meadows, the shelter we're going to stop at for the night. But we're making great time. We're really doing a good job out here. We're not trying to push hard, just enjoying the time. We probably sat up there in Hazeltop for a good 15-20 minutes, just having a snack and some water, getting off our feet for a few minutes. It's always re-energizes the body when you get a chance to do that. All right, we're coming up on Tanner's Ridge Road, and over here is Tanner's Ridge Cemetery. Coming up to, I don't know if this is called Big Meadow Mountain, but we're coming up to the top of a mountain anyway, near Big Meadow Campground. I just wanted to show there is a bit of a view out here. All right, so came up here to the Big Meadows Visitor Center at Big Meadows campsite area. Everything right now is unfortunately closed on the inside because they've lost power. Some type of a change is going on. So they've lost the power. There's Shenandoah National Park Service right there. But all the displays and everything they would have open are unfortunately closed. There's a big compass on the ground here showing you. So heading out of Big Meadows Campground, up there were showers, bathrooms, laundry room. Of course, showers and laundry aren't working. There's no power. Some planned backup power replacement taking place, who knows. But anyway, a lot of little picnic tables here. So up Cushy, I think we have 3.5 miles to the hut. The next wayside is about 9 miles from here. So we'll hit that tomorrow. And then that'll be it for the waysides until we exit Shenandoah National Park. It's about almost 46 miles to the next, to the pickup point to take us into Front Royal. We'll have a 4-day resupply box waiting for us there. And then plan our journey on up to Harper's Ferry. Like I say, this is a beautiful campsite area. Off to the side here is the Big Meadows Amphitheater, where when the campground is open on weekends, they have, I guess, they'll bring out different animals that they've saved from within the park that may be injured. And just talk about them. We just head down this trail just a little bit, not much at all, and then off we head north. Looks like we're gonna have a bit of a climb, then some down, and then a really big climb at the end. It looks like the hut might be part way up the big hill. This was very relaxing. We've easily been here 2 hours. Ate a good burger at the restaurant up there at the Wayside place. Good burger with some fries. I had some blackberry ice cream. It's made locally at a creamery somewhere down there in Shenandoah Valley, they said. So this was a nice little, just a really nice little shortcut off the AT itself. And now here we are. Got our white blades going there. And we're heading north. And that white blaze up there on the tree. Fire starter's going down to stay the night with us at the hut. Then he's going to go ahead and come on back up to his truck and then head back home. His friend is not making it out to hike with him, so he's just going to go ahead and go on back home tomorrow. And Chica and I will continue our northward journey. This is a view from Fisher's Gap Overlook to the northwest. I'm on Franklin Cliffs at 3,035 feet. This is a view from up here looking towards the west. We have made it to Rock Springs Hut. Cinderella is doing her chores before we settle in for the evening. And there is Firestarter. He is like, yeah, I'm whipped. Let's call it a day.
It's been a fun walk.
It has been. Big Meadows was amazing. Big Meadows was, oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. It has definitely been our pleasure having you out here with us. There's the place to put our food. There's the privy up on the hill. Oh, there's somebody in a tent up there. And we just figure out where the water is. Somewhere down below a cabin. So maybe that's what Scott is on the hunt for. All right, here we are getting the sunset. Look at that beauty.
I sent you the 2 pictures I took a little bit before you got down here.
All right, good morning. This is day 30 on trail, and it is the 1st of May. We are heading out from our little shelter here, and it is a steep uphill climb out of here. Scott will head back to his truck and then go on home. Chica and I will continue our northward bound hike. We're trying to at least get to the first shelter by 2 o'clock because of a incoming thunderstorm. And then we'll see what it holds after that to try and continue on. The second shelter is our ultimate goal, but we'll just see what comes. We will pass Skyland, the last wayside for us on the Skyline Drive, heading north. So that means we're getting closer and closer to the end of the Shenandoah National Park. Hooey, why they make these cabins so far down steep hills? Well, huts. I call it a cabin. The huts. Temperatures are supposed to be in the high 70s. Again, thunderstorms starting at around 2. And then off and on rain after the thunderstorms. Tomorrow holds the same. Off and on rain all day. Mainly sunny, but off and on rain. We'll see how things go. My left foot, I have one spot I'm keeping an eye on. A little concerned about the tenderness, but I'll keep an eye on it, obviously, because we said we would hold each other accountable and listening to our bodies. So if need be, just have if she wants to continue on, and I'll have to take a couple days rest. I don't know, we'll see. I'm hoping not. We did a lot of stones yesterday, so hopefully it's just tender from that and nothing more. I am doing all this huffing and puffing, and we aren't even on the trail yet. We're just on the side trail from the hut. All right, well, here we go. Firestarter, enjoy your trip home. Thank you
Thank
again
you.
for coming out and joining us.
Today. It's gonna be a nice one.
Yeah.
It'll be hot this afternoon, I bet.
I think I said high 79.
Oh, that's not bad.
So this is what we are dealing with this morning on the trail. All these rocks. So when you have a goal in your mind of how many miles you might want to do for the day, or hey, I think I'll be in Front Royal by Saturday, this is what causes you to have a change of plans. Climbing all these rocks. Up there I'm not climbing, but still they have spilled down onto the trail. And it sounds like it's going to be off and on like this for at least 300 yards. But yep, it's quite the rocks. And I'm not complaining, I'm just saying that's how it is. Because as I have said earlier, if this was easy, everybody would be out here doing it, right? So I think everybody should get a chance to come out and do a small section. Doesn't have to be anything as hard as this. You just come up into Shenandoah National Park and there are so many trails up here. You just have your own camper, use a tent, stay in one of their cabins or one of the lodges, and just come out and do a day hike. They have different loops so that, you know, you don't have to go down and back the same path. But yeah, you just get out and do something. Get up off the couch, get away from the TV, away from the computers, and get out and do a little hiking. Enjoy nature. Of course, we have some views now. A little bit of views now. Once the trees are filled in, you won't. But my preference is to hike in the early springtime. We'll see what it will be like if I'm still able to hike in the fall. I've not hiked, so it could be late summer, early fall when I come back to finish the rest of Virginia. I have to do from Damascus up to the McAfee Knob parking lot there, the McAfee Trailhead. That's what I will have left to have completed Virginia. But instead of going back and doing that, right now I'm leaning towards continuing forward from where I am right now. Where, well, not right this minute, obviously, but where Chica and I leave off. I'll go home for a couple days after we drop her at the airport and then come back out. And I think I'm going to start from where we leave off, vice heading directly to Massachusetts or up to New England. I have an opportunity to catch up with some folks there and hike with them, but I think I'm just going to stay in this area and continue where we leave off. But yeah, so this is, oh my glory. You can see where they've all spilled down on the trail. So that's what we have to climb over. So in the middle of this rock scramble, took a little turn here and what a beautiful view. Oh, it looks like we're coming up on like a water tower sort of thing. There's a prone to pain take off to the side and a maintenance truck. Sure be nice if I saw a water spigot there. Doesn't look like it though. Huh. Well, looks like, oh wow. Looks like the wayside is right down there. That might be it. Hard. See if I can put down my poles here and zoom in. Gonna be really difficult to see a lot of the trees in the way, but there's a building right over there. I think that's it. All right, we're about 1/10 of a mile off trail coming through, and we've got a wayside over here that we're gonna head into. Maybe treat ourselves to a bag of chips or a snack or something. See what they have in there. This might be the restaurant. We don't think it's open yet. But that might be the actual restaurant there. Maybe it is open. People are sitting on the deck eating. There's an office. So we're just going to kind of look around, see what we can find. This is the view from the top of Little Stony Man Cliffs. Oh, it is so hot. Beautiful, beautiful view. So up here on the top of Little Stony Man Cliffs, you can see there's some rock climbers have their equipment. They're all hooked up here. They're just down over the edge there. I'll keep walking with, see if I can make it over that way to see them. I'm not sure I can make that look.
In that groove right there.
Yeah, I can't make the look in there to see the person. But wow, my nephew does rock climbing in Colorado.
Yeah, my kids do. My boys.
Oh, I just saw a hand come up there. You've got this. You're doing it. You're doing it. Keep it going. You're doing a great job. You're welcome.
Beautiful day to be out.
Yes, it is.
There you are.
There he is. Awesome job.
Yeah. Now I gotta go back down.
Wow. Still at Little Stony Man Cliffs. It's about 1:34 in the afternoon. My feet and my legs have decided they do not want to go on any further. I found a place in the shade, sitting on a rock and having to take a rest. I only have 2.7 miles to the shelter, and my body has just decided it won't go anymore. So I'm listening to my body. I'm eating one of my protein bars, having a bunch of water. And when it feels like I'm ready, I'll get up and keep moving. Hopefully there won't be any thunderstorms before I get to the shelter, but if there are, oh well, you deal with it and keep moving on. Well, that's my view from where I am. It is so hot. The sun just continuously beating. Drains the daylights out of you. It's been a pretty rocky trail. Slows the pace down, that's for sure. A few roots here and there. But beautiful views. Definitely some beautiful views. This is probably the 5th blowdown I've seen going across the trail today. I would have to say the folks who take care of the Appalachian Trail inside Shenandoah National Park have not been out in a while. At least that one was easy to get over. One of them, they made a path around it, so you could at least continue on. The other ones, you just have to climb over. Wonder how many blowdowns they get in these woods every time a storm comes through with high winds. Just looks like there are so many dead trees. All right, this is the Pinnacle's picnic ground, I guess you could call it. I'm not sure if it's a campsite, but picnic ground. And the trail literally comes right by it. So we were able to fill up our water bottles at the spigot. Chica was able to rinse her head off there, cool herself down some. There's a privy that had toilet paper inside, so we didn't have to use our own. So it's very nice little spot. This is a really nice area. It goes on for a bit. They have the footed path so some people can walk on the AT. Like they say they've walked on the Appalachian Trail. Jewel Hollow Overlook, 0.3, Mary's Rock, 3.5, Thornton Gap, 5.1, Skyland, which is where we came from, is 4.1 back that way. Well, we came from the shelter before Skyland, but Skyland is where we stopped and had a little bit of a rest and a couple snacks, filled up our water bottles and went on our merry little way. So this was a beautiful spot. If it had already been raining, I would have camped out under the shelter back there till the rain passed. A bit of the view. Again, staying really hazy. But at least we got a little bit of a view. All right, a quick stop here at Bird's Nest number 3 hut. We're gonna continue on down the trail for another 4-point-something miles. The water is not even water here. You have to go a quarter of a mile to get water, and then you'd have to come a quarter of a mile back. So what's the point of that? So hopefully we'll get down there before the storms come in. A little bit of the trail here now and then has some nice, soft, cushy trail under the feet. It's been a very rocky day. Have 3.9 miles still to the shelter. Do a lot of praying that the storms will hold off till we are able to hopefully be set up inside the shelter. If not, obviously we'll pitch our tents and be tenting in the rain. Hopefully there'll be room in the shelter. We knew of 2 other people that were going to be at the shelter. They were with us last night where we stayed. They said because of the incoming thunderstorms, they're trying to get to the same shelter we are, and they were just going to sleep inside the shelter instead of setting up the tent area here. There might be some views to the east again. It seems like the majority of the views have been to the to the west. Boy, I'm getting all confused. The majority of the views have been to the west. Very hazy out. Not a lot to see, unfortunately, with that haze. Some big old boulders here. Let's see if I can step out here. There we go. That summit way up there is called Mary's Rock. summit. I haven't seen a trail up to it, and I am way too tired to try and rock scramble up to it. But I bet there's some beautiful views from up there. It's just the end of the day, and I don't have it in me to get up there. So there was a side trail up to Mary's Rock Summit. It was 0.1 miles for that side trail. I am just so exhausted. I did not have it in me to go up the 0.1 and back down the 0.1. It's very hazy out. I'm sure there's some type of a view, but right now everything is so hazy, as you could tell in my other videos. So I decided to forego climbing that 1/10 of a mile and to just continue on down the trail towards the shelter, which is still a little more than 3 miles away. I've had about enough of these rocks. I'm ready for that soft dirt again. I feel like I'm back in the Smoky Mountains with all the rocks. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Lord. There's some soft dirt. Look at that. Oh, thank you, Lord. Every little bit helps. Okay, we've come up on Thornton Gap, where there is a crosswalk, but can't guarantee that the cars will stop for us. So we'll at least get to the middle of it and see what we've got after that. About 1 mile or so to go, and we should be at the shelter. I think the last part is we go partway up the mountain to get to it. Found it very interesting. I'm not sure what it is, but this little bunker kind of thing, all overgrown. It's interesting. Just a little bit off the side of the trail. 0.7 more to get to the shelter. Alright, it's been almost 0.2 miles off the main trail, coming on down here. Oh, I see the rooftop of the hut. I see the privy up ahead there, and I can see the food box down further. Hopefully I'm not the only one here after all of this. Oh, thank you, Lord. I see at least one bag. So, cool beans. I have made it down here. Awesome sauce.